Hello, Kelly Williams here, exercise physiologist and wellness coach with the IAWP. And today I want to talk to you about 6 questions that I think are important to ask yourself when you are about to start an exercise program. And really, why do we need to exercise anyhow? People a long time ago didn't have to exercise. They really got all of the activity that they needed in a day just from their activities of daily living. They walked a lot, they carried heavy objects, they used hand tools, and really in the course of a day, the amount of calories that they expended and the amount of exertion that they went through really gave them all of the benefits of exercise that we now have to go out and do in exercise either at home or at a gym. So people used to not have to do it, but now we do. And I think we all know why. Our lifestyles have changed tremendously, especially just in the last 40 years, probably even more so in the last 15 years. But through all of the great technological advances that we've made in our culture, while those changes have been very beneficial in a lot of ways, many things have really stolen our opportunities to be physically active and therefore, or be as physically active as we need to be. And therefore, we have to go out of our way to get more active. And that really presents some problems, because just think how nice it would be if in the course of our workday, we got all of the activity and exercise needed in order to meet the minimum requirements or the benefits that we get from exercise. So imagine if through the course of our day we had so many opportunities to get cardiovascular fitness just by having to walk everywhere we went, or if we were forced to do manual things that really gave us the strength that we needed. That would be nice, but that's just not the case. So we either have to go to a gym, or we have to exercise at home, or we have to do something if we really want to get those benefits. And so when we start an exercise program, I think it's really important to ask ourselves some questions, and I think the answers to these questions will help you in your efforts to stick with a plan and really develop a plan that's going to be effective for you. And too many times I think people really associate exercise too much with weight loss, while exercise is an important part of that weight loss equation. Really, the nutrition that we get, not only the food choices that we make, but the amount of food that we get, that really plays a bigger role in the weight loss equation than our exercise. But again, exercise is important. It's just not as important as the nutrition choices that we make. So there are really 3 types of exercise. There's flexibility exercise, there's cardiovascular exercise like aerobic exercise, and there's strength exercise or resistance exercise. So those are the 3 types. Now, in those 3 types, there's lots of different subcategories. There's athletic performance, there's sport-specific training, there is yoga, which is really, it's a combination of strength and flexibility and body weight exercises. There's high-intensity interval training. There's all kinds of subcategories of those different exercise types. So let's get into these questions. So I think the first question that we want to ask is, what is my goal? And really, it might be that you want to do a 5K, or you want to go on a hike on vacation and you're just not physically fit to do that yet. So your program might be geared more towards something like that. It could be that you do want to lose weight, and there are some exercise types that you really want to focus on if that is your choice. But identify your goal and let that be the primary focus of what your exercise program is going to be. I think the next question is, what are my limitations? It doesn't make sense to start a jogging program because somebody says jogging, maybe somebody tells you that jogging is one of the best ways to use up a lot of calories. And it is. But if you've got bad knees, jogging is not the right program for you. So identify your limitations and then be aware of those things and find a program or customize a program that will keep those limitations in mind. The next one is, how many days per week can I expect to exercise? Now, the minimum recommendations for the minimum benefits of exercise are 5 days, 30 minutes each. And that totals up to 150 minutes. And then up to 5 hours is really the higher end of the goal. And it really depends on a lot of things as where you are in that range. But regardless of what it is, you don't have to start with 5 days of 30 minutes. You start with what you can do, and you gradually hope to build to those. But again, identify how many days a week in the beginning that you can commit to exercising somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 30 minutes. Next, the next question is, where am I going to exercise? Could be that you're going to exercise at a park, maybe you're going to exercise at home, or maybe at a gym, or at some type of a group fitness facility, but identify that. What time am I going to exercise? Maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's at lunch, or maybe it's in the evening. Based on your schedule, identify the time of day that you can exercise. And then one other important question is, how much time can I reasonably commit to in the beginning? Kind of touched on that a minute ago, but with the requirement being 30 minutes, 5 days a week, again, maybe you start with 10 or 15 minutes and gradually build up. Some habit gurus or people that study habits even recommend maybe the first week or two, all you do is put your workout clothes on and just work on the habit of getting started, and then gradually build to something else. So with those questions, I think when you answer those questions, you can really, that's a good way to identify where you start. It's good to get with your physician and identify any issues that you might need to be aware of. And then the key is really just starting slow with the hope of building up to 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and with a variety of those exercises. Now, be on the lookout for my next video, because I am going to talk about how you start an exercise program based around some strengthening exercises and your cardiovascular fitness and a warm-up. So until then, be grateful, be well, and I hope you work on getting entirely fit. Have a great day.